Why are you so concerned with all of this anyway?
Because I want you to be happy.
You know, I'm happy.
Trust me, Dad. You're not happy.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the March winner of the 11th Second Club, Deepak. Congratulations. This is an amazing, subtle piece of animation. I'm Jason Martinsen. I've been a mentor at Animation Mentor for probably almost 20 years now. If you want to see more about me, you can go to my website, jmartinsen.com, and see the different projects I've worked on. So before we get started, let's play this masterpiece and let everyone enjoy it.
Why are you so concerned with all of this anyway?
Because I want you to be happy.
You know, I'm happy.
Trust me, Dad. You're not happy.
So good. There's so much nice, subtle textures in there. It's really good, genuine acting. I love that he's doing things and not just acting. Like he's like in there fixing the car. So it's like they're there in the middle of something. You've caught them. They were doing something before this. They're going to do something after this. And whatever the conversation is, it's obviously about something different, but it gives it like this nice kind of grounded realism context, which I think is really great. So let's talk about some of the things that are really nice in it first. Like just what you have in his face here at the beginning, all the thought process there, where he's looking at his son and turns away and then looks back at the car, like his job, and back at his son. All that subtle things there. It really shows the thought process, and because of you see the expression there, you know something's been said before this. There's something troubling him, and he's waiting for what it is. And it's pretty ambiguous because the kid, who also is kind of looking around, has a fairly neutral, maybe even slightly happy face. So you don't know what's coming from him.
Why?
But he probably said something before this that triggered that to begin this conversation.
Why?
And that I love this pose. This like it's got such a great flow and like push. It's a caricature. I love the tension coming up in the shoulders. He's not overly animated, like changing poses a lot. It's working within a pose,
Why are you so concerned with?
And then you have really nice mechanics on this
Why are you
walkover. And you've done some cool stuff with the car as well.
Why are
You can
you
clearly
so
see this car is being affected by his
concerned
movement.
with all of this anyway?
There is something about the when his weight hits the car here,
Anyway.
it feels a little strange because it feels like this side doesn't really go down and that this side goes up, or maybe it's just that it's too late. I think it looks like it kind of shoots up and comes back down. I think it would be simpler. I don't know if you're actually going to go back and adjust these because it's such a minor thing. If the car, that end of the car, the whole car just on this side stayed more or less the same. Maybe it rise up pixels, but the other side would just drop and not necessarily drop and bounce back. It's just weight taking it because there's something in there that feels a bit light. It feels kind of like the car got pushed from this side.
Because I want you to be happy.
And I love the hands in the pockets pose. That must have been hard to do.
Be happy.
And that little shrug the kid says, he's clearly distraught about this, and it's not overly pushed. It's just nice subtle acting. The whole throwing the cloth on the shoulder is a really nice touch, like a subtle little texture.
I'm concerned with all of this anyway.
Because I want you to be happy.
You know, I'm happy.
And then you have a great connection pose here. It's just everything's flowing, right? Your eyes is brought right into this position.
Trust me.
I love the smile that comes up after the fact. So it gives the animation some offset texture.
Trust me, Dad.
And then there's some more interaction here, which is nice.
Not happy.
With the kid holding his dad's hand. And then you have a lot of subtle stuff at the end in the eyes. So there's just a lot of nice things going on overall. It's just a beautifully animated piece. So I don't really have much to say as far as the critique as an improvement. There's some nitpicky things that I can suggest if you wanted to go back into it. I mean, one of the things is this. I don't know if you hand keyed this or if this was a sim. It is a bit distracting how much it flows around. It doesn't feel quite like it would move that much. It feels like there's a fan blowing on it. I think it's just the first initial push there that feels too much. That second part feels nice. And all the stuff that's going on in the hands is really beautiful there. On the eye dart, and I think this happens with a few eye darts in the scene. Usually the eye is a fast twitch muscle, and usually with the way eye darts work is they move like 90% of the way or 95% of the way in the first frame, and then they cushion in over a few frames. And it looks like this eye dart is kind of easing out. So I would probably hold it still on that frame in the same place and then move to this frame, which is it would be a bigger difference, and then do the cushion. I think it'll feel more natural.
Why?
This is great.
Why are you so concerned with all of this? So concerned with all of this.
There's a little bit of a strobe with this gesture. Maybe you would want to like have it come out a little earlier or leave it out a few more frames. It feels kind of like it hits something and bounces off. Ting. So you might want to have just
concerned with all of this.
A couple more frames of it in this pose, like not holding that pose, but just kind of in this area, an extra 2 or 3 frames of spacing in that sort of hang time of that gesture to make it read better, because it's a really nice gesture.
With all of this anyway. With all of this.
And there's a pop here in his leg. It's like you're just doing an adjustment. It's probably just a IK or a stray key. If you're going to go back and do it, you might want to smooth out.
All of this anyway.
Because I want
All of this. I'm concerned with all of this.
And then, he's saying all of this anyway, and it looks like he's saying all of this.
With all of this anyway.
Or all of this and all of this and
Anyway.
all of this and a. He doesn't have the anyway.
All of this anyway.
So somewhere around 146, 147, 148, you need like an ooh anyway, and then it would open from the into this anyway.
because I want you to be happy.
What could be nice too here, it feels a little bit like everything starts moving at once on him. And there's a nice offset, the hand leading the action in the sense of the timing of it. But you could have an antic and maybe start lifting this hand 2 or 3 frames earlier. So like if he's here, you could have an antic screen right in his body, very subtle. Maybe this shoulder would rise a little bit. And the body would kind of just go back over 2 or 3 frames. You maybe even counter the head so that the head would sort of stay. So it's not a big movement on the head. And this is all super micro. And this hand could start to lift. It could start to like slide off and back back this way before it goes over. Like it could lead everything. Just because right now it's just a bit of everything still and everything goes. So when you play it, it'd be nice to just get a little more of an offset into that and like lead into it 2 or 3, 4 frames earlier with some body parts, because it's he kind of moves right on the line. So you'd be like anticipating that a bit.
Be happy.
I'm happy.
And you could probably get a little more reaction in the kid when he puts his hand on the back. You could have a tiny bit of a shift. I mean, I'm going to exaggerate it here, but a little bit of this would be nice to show that connection between the hand and the shoulder and the back of the kid's hoodie or whatever.
I'm happy.
You to be happy.
And here he says, and it looks like he's saying no. So I think you would want to get a little bit of an ooh shape on 211, 212 through 13. And then probably by 16, 17, you get to this, yun, and then back to this.
I'm happy.
There's also something going on here teeth penetrating the mouth, so maybe just check out what that is. But I like that you have 2 or 3 frames of the shape, so it reads really nicely.
Trust me, Dad.
And I love this little
Trust
smile.
me, Dad. You're not happy.
The ending is just so good. You know, if you wanted to, like, you have this subtle drop in his body, it could be nice to, like, give it a little bit more of a quick drop and, like, maybe twice the distance, so you feel that a little more, because it's so subtle you almost miss it. But it's so great. And then the kid is really looking nice.
Why are you so...
You might want to bury his eyes a little less here, or at least bury this one a little less, so you see a bit more, but I think it'd be more appealing. Just pull them out. Make sure you don't see white on the other side, but they feel really pushed over, so you're not getting as nice of a appealing shape. You know, graphic read. It's a terrible drawing. But that just reads a little better. And I know I drew it in black, but like just the size of the eyes compared to that, right?
So concerned with all of this anyway.
Because I want.
This anyway.
Because I want you.
You know, this is another one of those things. The kid, you have this nice antic on the head going down. Maybe you want to lower the pupils with the lids. But it does feel like his hands kind of come off at the exact same timing. You might want to do a little bit of a 1-2. Just trying to add some offsets in these breakdowns could be nice. It's the same with how they go in. You could have one or 2 frames ahead, so it's like, and it'll just give it a little more texture.
To be happy.
Probably the shrug would be the same,
You know,
like you have.
I'm happy.
Be happy.
I love this
To
little
be happy.
movement you do in the
To
head.
be happy. I want you to be happy. Because I want you to be happy.
The lip sync on happy feels like a frame late. You might want to slide it earlier. Because it feels like the happy happens on the sound or after the sound a bit.
I'm happy.
Trust me, Dad.
And then his hand comes up, and you know it has to go behind his body quite a bit. So it might feel nicer if you twist his chest and hips a little more away, and maybe lead. You know, there's something you could maybe do with the arm is lead with the elbow. So it goes up like this, and then once it's behind, it would reach around. But right now it feels like it kind of does this, flips up. And it might feel nicer if you just see it going up, and then once it's gone, it would have kind of reached around. So, you know, he would be turned a little more away from camera here, at least in the upper body. The shoulder would be more here. His head might be slightly more forward, but his arm, at this point, you just see his elbow. His hand would be kind of behind. And then it would be nice for all these frames to see this type of shape, right? You can see that elbow silhouette, so you can feel him holding it. Right now, his arm's kind of lost, and you can't really tell what's happening. It's a bit awkward, like he's like stretching it against the wall. And then the way it comes down, it feels like it's not really connected. You'd want to have it still maybe, you know, elbow up, and his hand wouldn't be this high up, but it'd be somewhere back there. And, you know, at this point, it doesn't really matter. It's just behind. It does also look like these fingers are going through this guy's finger, so you might want to just adjust it so it's on top, or move this finger over or something.
You're not happy.
And again, on the blink, you're getting a little zombie eye. When you do blink, usually your eyes go up and down with the lids, so they would be lower on these 2 frames. And then come, you know, by here they come up.
You're not happy. Happy.
So nice. So yeah, those are some super nitpicky polish notes, but beautiful, beautiful work, and congratulations again.